Ooh, Star Wars video. We haven't done one of these in a while.
Oh no.
So, hey, we are here actually talking about 5 heroes that we want to see show up in Star Wars Battlefront 2, which has really made a resurgence in popularity in the last year, especially since it's been mostly fixed by DICE and EA, actually, and surprisingly gotten very good. So, we already did a list of the 5 heroes we wanted to see. We did one of 5 villains, even 5 planets.
Yeah.
Now we're on to 5 more heroes we want to see, because there's actually
There's a ton of characters in Star Wars.
Yeah, there is a ton. So I think the first one we should go with was your idea. I am on board with him.
Okay.
But the only question I have is, what about the attack on the Wookiees?
What about the attack on the Wookiees?
Well,
we're talking about the one and only Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Ki-Adi-Mundi. I have no idea how
giant
you say
head dude.
Big head man. Yeah, so this is the thing, like, before you're like, okay, these guys have no idea what they're talking about, and you click off of the list.
Yeah, just hold on.
Wait a minute. Ki-Adi-Mundi does actually matter in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
He has become a very popular meme character.
Yes.
So I think that already does boost his popularity.
And he is actually one of the more bigger name characters.
I thought you were going to call him a big nerd.
Well, he is that too.
Okay.
But he is one of the bigger name characters on the Jedi Council.
That's true, yeah. I think he does get more screen time even than someone like Plo Koon does, obviously, and some of those are Jedi. So yeah, he definitely does, I think, at least belong in the game. Well, and here's the other thing. He showed up in the original Battlefront 2.
Yeah, he was on the Maigito level.
He was way back there on Maigito, and also he was actually in the hero assault mode, in that game. Yeah. So on Tatooine, Mos Eisley. So it's weird that he wouldn't be here just from that standpoint.
And he got his own scene in the Order 66 scene in Episode 3.
A good point. So they did draw special attention to him. So even though a lot of people don't know tons about Ki-Adi-Mundi, I still think it would be neat to have another Jedi Council member on the actual light side team that could do something.
Yeah.
So our next one is one I am finding a lot of people don't like this character.
And I don't know why.
Yeah, excuse me, sorry, I was cleaning my throat out. I've noticed with Anakin, a lot of it was people not responding to Hayden Christensen's acting.
Which was more with the writing.
Well, a lot of that was more with George Lucas's writing, I agree. But there was some stuff, especially in Episode 2, I totally get why. But Anakin, over the years, has gone on to become pretty loved because of the Clone Wars.
Right.
People are still pretty against Padme. A lot.
I don't know why. Padme, I think Natalie Portman did a fantastic job with Padme.
I think she did probably the best job she could with what the writing was.
Right.
That's the thing, is those problems, they really come from George Lucas's terrible dialogue that he wrote for love sequences and stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're right.
I hate sand is a great line.
I truly, deeply love you. Here, eat this pear. Yeah, no, so the thing with this is that, Padme is, even if she does get some crap, she is an iconic Star Wars character, obviously the mother of Princess Leia and Luke.
Yeah, she's the mother of probably the 2 most famous characters.
Yeah, other than Han Solo. Han Solo wants to know your location.
And other than Captain Tarfels.
You're right, Tarfel is definitely more famous. Padme does have, an interesting dynamic she can bring, too, because she isn't our blaster character. I think that those characters haven't been added to a lot recently. Really, the biggest addition to them was Finn and Phasma, I guess. I mean, it's been a lot of lightsaber characters. And I would also argue that the player base has gotten very stagnant in terms of playing blaster characters. Every time I mention this, someone's like, well, I'm good as Han Solo, so you're wrong.
Cool.
And it's here's the thing. You might be great as Han Solo, but if you are on a team playing as a lightsaber character, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, the blaster characters you're against are either new players that suck or players that never got the hang of blaster characters.
Right.
I think blaster characters, the skill of them has fallen off a bit because people just don't take the time to learn them.
Well, and also the other problem is they nerfed a lot of them.
They did nerf the dodging, yeah. You can still dodge through lightsabers and stuff, but it's a lot harder to time now. It used to be a lot easier. And because of that, if lightsaber characters close the gap, unless you are insane at it and you've been playing for a long time, you're probably going to die.
Right.
I mean, that's just how it is. So, like, to actually add in another relevant blaster character, I think could help the balancing of the game. Whereas something like the BB units seem to hurt it a little bit.
Yeah, and with Padme, if she's in the game, I'd love to see her Geonosis outfit.
Yeah, there's a few Geonosis outfits, actually. There's the Torn one. I think that's the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's the one I'd like.
There's the normal one, which is like before getting there, which I don't know, who needs that, right?
No.
There's obviously, you know, she goes through some of the most costume changes in the series, actually. So
there's
there's a
she
lot
could
of
have the Queen Amidala outfit.
Yeah, and there's the white suit from when she goes onto like snow locations, obviously, in the Clone Wars. So there's a lot you could do with her cosmetically and gameplay wise, and it would just be nice to see, dude, Anakin and Padme on the same team fight.
That'd be awesome.
That's cool. It's like we already got Anakin and Obi-Wan, we've got Han Solo and Chewie, we've got all these team dynamics.
We could have like Anakin, Padme, and then Leia and Luke.
That would be
on
pretty
the same
cool.
Team.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
The Skywalker family.
The Skywalker bloodline. We're missing one member, though. So moving on, we actually have another character that we would want to see, which is Qui-Gon Jinn. This one's going to be pretty short because Liam Neeson did do a good job, but like Qui-Gon was in one movie, really. He shows up in some supplemental stuff like Clone Wars a tiny bit. He is obviously really well known just because of Liam Neeson.
Yeah, and because of that, he is actually a fan favorite. He's actually one of the only good things about Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Him and Maul, and obviously Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and he brings like a certain gravitas to that cast, I think. And like he has like an iconic lightsaber build, which would be neat to see in the game, obviously. I would say there's less cosmetic options with him, but I don't think that should be the thing holding back the pick either. I mean, like you could have his, Jedi robes, you could have him without the Jedi robes and just the tunic, whatever you want to do with that.
Yeah, it'd just be cool to see him.
Yeah, it definitely would.
He's a different kind of Jedi.
Yeah,
I like how he kind of more just does his own thing. He's kind of like Anakin, actually.
Yeah, he is like Anakin, but way less violent.
Right.
He doesn't really follow the Council's rules. He would just be a fun character to see, I think, no matter what you do with gameplay for him. Especially, I always thought, too, like, you could sort of do, like, a meditation buff.
Yeah.
So, like, how he does the meditation before fighting Maul in 1. You could have, like, you activate this buff and he like sits down for like 2 seconds and like meditates and then gets up and he's more powerful or something like that.
Yeah, and then the best thing to do with Qui-Gon Jinn is actually open up the hero map on Naboo, the hangar.
Yeah.
And then you can have the battle between Qui-Gon and Maul.
So the next one we have is probably
is this the best character in Star Wars?
I actually think it's the most important character in all of Star Wars right now, and maybe all of media. And
I would agree.
That's Ben Quadraneros. Now, obviously, there's a lot of things revealed about Ben Quadraneros, especially in Rise of Skywalker. They go back, they reveal all these things about Ben Quadraneros.
He's actually Snoke?
He's Snoke, he's Mace Windu, he's Baby Yoda, he's normal Yoda. And honestly,
Darth
he's
Plagueis?
just the center of the Force.
Yeah.
Would anyone want Ben Quadraneros?
No!
We are kidding, by the way. We are kidding. We would actually want to see Kira. I was more invested in this choice than you are, which I understand.
And I was more invested in Ki-Adi-Mundi than you were.
So we did make some compromises here, like the Jedi Council of old. But the thing with Kira is that she's just a fun character. I really thought that Emilia Clarke did like a fantastic job as her. She's super charming. She was like witty. She's sexy. She's like, just badass. I don't know. She's kind of like the Padme of that movie, I guess. But I would argue more solidly written because George Lucas wasn't touching it. So like that's the thing is like she's just a strong character where she showed up. But sadly, she only shows up in Solo, a Star Wars story. So I do think that it would be fun to see her in here, especially when we're seeing people like Phasma on the roster. I don't think this is out of the question. She had way more screen time.
She's better than Phasma.
Oh yeah, by far, and like an actual character with writing behind her.
Yeah, she'd be another good blaster character to add in too.
Absolutely, and because of her training with Teräs Käsi, like hand-to-hand fighting, she actually could pretty much do both. She could be a blaster character that could also have maybe like some kind of melee ability, either like a counter for a lightsaber character, or she could have like a vibro blade where she could actually, fight that way. I don't know how you want to do it. If you want to have her be a vibroblade character that can take a blaster out, or do both, or what. But
why not both?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of basically options that you would have with Kira that would be fun to see. Our final one is my favorite one I really want to see. It's one that I didn't include on the first list because I hadn't watched the show at that point, and that is Mando from The Mandalorian. I don't want to say too much about this character because like this is a relatively new show. There's a lot of spoilers going around with it, but If you're just including Mando, he does have access to a wide variety of Mandalorian weapons, whether that's things like, a thermal detonator, whether that's his blaster, whether that's the jetpack. There's a lot you can do with him, and it would even the odds a bit against the dark side, because this would be a light side hero who would be able to use a jetpack.
Yeah, and Mando becomes a little more overpowered when you find out in episode 8 that he's actually Ben Quadraneros.
Oh man, that's too much. Too much information. You're ruining it.
Sorry, I spoiled it for everyone.
But the thing is, you have Flyaway Fett on the dark side team all the time who will take one shot and then fly away from you. And now you can have someone chase him down. And plus, the Mandalorian is way cooler than Boba Fett. I'm sorry. He's way more cool. And he actually has writing behind him.
Yeah, people who have that play style, I'm just going to call you out right now. You're a coward.
Coward!
I'm going to call you out
Traitor!
right now.
Yeah, it is very frustrating, and this would definitely help level that playing field and make it a lot more fun to play against a Fett character, because you could have Mando just chase him down as the rest of you are fighting. So
and it would be, and I don't know how they would include this, but it would be fun if they would have some sort of ice climbers type of thing with Smash Bros. And maybe have Baby Yoda included.
Oh yeah, definitely, because those two characters are always paired up together.
Yeah, and I don't know how they would do that or what that would be, but
I'm not sure. You'd have to have him maybe strapped to his back or him holding him.
Yeah,
I don't know, because
awesome.
it would be kind of hard to have the baby cargo cart go alongside him all the time.
Yeah,
but there definitely is something to be said about that idea for sure. So hey, let us know in the comments down below what characters you would like to see in Star Wars Battlefront 2, or maybe you'd like to see these characters in Battlefront 3. You're tired of 2 and you think they should just move on. Let us know what you're thinking. And hey, be sure to check out the previous videos on this topic. We've got a Discord, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, everything in between, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.